back to your daily dose. My name is Robert. I'm here with the twitchy woman, Sharon, and we're talking about various states of Parkinson's in terms of, early diagnosis and then those who've accepted perhaps and are adjusting within how to address the community, but also the state of research. And I heard you say, it's not getting us anywhere. What I'd say, in my opinion, is it's not that it's not getting us anywhere. To me, it's just not getting us to where we'd like to be as quickly as we'd like to be. You mentioned the 5 years away thing. For my dad and I, back since 2001, the call was a cure within 10 years. And, that was Muhammad Ali and Michael J. Fox, the big PSAs. And we were all on board with it. Stem cells and this, that, and the other. Didn't happen, of course. And it's crushing over time to hear that if you continue to only put your faith in the hope of research. I say, good. What researchers can do, let them do. What can we do on a daily basis? We know there's a ton of things out there. Part of it's awareness, part of it's access, but I guess there's another level. You know Matthew, of course, real well, Matthew Moore. He told me the other day, he said, I know everything I'm supposed to be doing, but you know what, Robert? I don't have time to do boxing, yoga, speech therapy, the 20 things I'm supposed to do every day. How do you manage that?
One person says Parkinson's is a full-time job.
Yeah.
And you can't do everything. And I tell people, don't make yourself crazy. If you can only get in 20 minutes of exercise a day, get in 20 minutes of exercise a day. I personally feel guilty if I don't do some kind of dedicated exercise every day. But there are days where I just let it go and I say, okay, I got to live with this. It's really a tough thing to deal with. People look at me, and unless you're having really severe symptoms, most people don't even recognize that we have Parkinson's.
Right.
Because it's under control. I mean, if you see me when I'm off time on my medications, my hand is going like this, my legs are cramping. You don't see all of that.
Right.
And there's a lot of internal symptoms that people don't see. And they go, well, you don't look sick. Well, yeah, I know, but there's, it's there. And it's always there, and you can't escape from it. But exercise, diet, although I don't really follow, they say to follow a Mediterranean diet. I can't eat fish. That's a problem. Mediterranean diet is a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Don't eat dairy. Well, I love dairy. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat fish. What am I supposed to eat? So I think everybody has to find what works for them.
Yeah.
And one of the great things about Parkinson's exercise classes is that you meet other people like yourself.
Yeah.
And that becomes your community. That becomes your support system. I think it's better than any support group out there because you have more in common with people you're exercising with.
Yeah, I like the thought of that because you're not only meeting people who have something in common with you with the diagnosis, but they have the commonality of being in motion. And from taking some of my storytelling, the cinema therapy classes to do, it works the same in storytelling. The hero that is not doing things in a story is boring. Just like the hero in Parkinson's who isn't engaged in some fashion is probably getting sicker in terms of the symptoms getting worse in that regard. So being in action in some fashion, that doesn't mean running as fast as you can or marathon. It doesn't mean being crazy, like you said, but finding others who are at your speed or maybe are challenging you to go up or are helping you to be okay with going a little slower, whatever it is. But finding your tribe, I agree that's the people who are going to get it and are going to help, I guess, I don't want to say normalize, but help you manage to the best of
your. We speak the same language.
That's it.
We have the same language. We have the same issues.
Yeah.
We're fatigue. I had a group we have a group that we box and we take turns in people's garage gyms or whatever. We have an instructor who comes in and we talk. We compare things, symptoms. How are you feeling today? Everybody's tired. Fatigue is probably one of the biggest symptoms for everybody, most common. Some people don't have a tremor. And people don't understand that you don't have Parkinson's, you're not shaking. No, but they have other issues, stiffness, leg cramping. there's all kinds of symptoms, and you
Yeah.
can't talk to somebody who doesn't have the disease and make them understand. They don't know what an internal tremor is until you've
No.
experienced it yourself. You can't explain it.
Well, that's it. And like you say, even the highest degree, most learned doctors don't necessarily have the terminology for it because they're still in discovery mode. So this is where, back to one where we started our conversation, a woman like Barbara is so important. This book, What Parkinson's Feels Like, to me is a game changer that she artistically represents and listened to other people tell their stories and gave it an image so you can look at it and go, oh, that makes me feel. It's like if you can compassionately feel what the other person is feeling, I think that goes a long way to bridging the gap.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the best books out there are written by people with Parkinson's.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorites, now I'm trying to total blank on the name of it. It was a book I read early on. Oh, shoot. No.
It's okay. It's an all-time favorite. We'll leave it there. And if you think of it, I'll put it in the notes. How about that?
Yeah, this book came across my desk the other day, and this is a very small book written by a doctor who has Parkinson's.
Interesting.
So he wrote a book for us.
Yeah.
And he's Taming and Managing Parkinson's Disease by Dennis Hochstrasser, MD he's in Switzerland.
Okay.
And, it's a small book. There's only 70 pages. He gives an overview, conventional treatments. He talks about complementary treatments, integrative medicine, well-being, and the look of others. And it has a lot of valuable information in the little tiny book, but it's written by somebody who knows what we're going through. That's the difference between this and something written by a doctor or a researcher. They
talk down. Right. Yeah. No,
yeah, John Paul Furman's book. He doesn't have Parkinson's. Yes, he does have Parkinson's, I think. He's the one who wrote it. You know which book I'm talking about.
Yes.
It was a fabulous book. And absolutely. He wrote about the drug addicts who took some form of drug and ended up with Parkinson's-like symptoms.
Yeah.
And the whole book is just really well done.
So that's The Frozen Addicts. And John Palferman, who wrote that incredible story. That's another thing we can totally get into another time. We will. But now, Sharon, I want to tell you, you're welcome anytime. You and I can just sit here and chat. So we're not going to be on this thing. You're on whenever you want to be. Okay. Hey, by the way, this might be one more episode if we have it. What about your story? Are we going to get that?
What do you want to know?
Oh, good. We're coming back for one more episode. Here we go. Okay.